everyone. I'm Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices, PC, with our headquarters in Dallas, Texas. Today's discussion is absolutely critical. We've received a wave of calls and messages about a few topics that we are bringing to you. And this is in the format of Ask Pallavi a question that we are giving you these answers. So there has been a viral rumor about H-1B visa cancellations. There is also a little bit of chaos that comes across from your new asylum application fee, and also ICE arrests under expedited removal, including our neighbors in Canada caught in detention. The stories do spark fear in the community. So let's just see what is it that we can do to get you some quick answers.
Yes, let's start with the post that went viral last week. It claims that three H-1B visa holders were denied entry into the US just because they stayed in India for over 60 days. People are panicking. Is there any truth to this?
I think it's a rumor, and the fact that another newspaper in India covered it doesn't make that correct, but it is tripping a lot of people up that are coming back into the country. Uh, Parsing through all the rules and laws and USCIS policy that automatically cancels your H-1B for staying in your home country for 60 days. It doesn't, we're not finding any answers that could help us. There is currently not any guidance that is in place that we can talk about. H-1B holders can travel abroad for any legitimate reason, going home for vacation, medical emergencies, family visits, and even have like extended stays there while they're allowed to work remotely by their employer. So that's something to just understand, that it's not like if you're staying there that you cannot come back in.
So, what exactly does complying with all of the H-1B norms and guidelines mean?
See, the compliance means at the time that you enter, right? So basically, you should have a valid bona fide job offer, right? Your employer should kind of reiterate their offer, right? And they should be you're able to, of course, talk to them and go over the bona fides of their job offer. So just remember, one thing that's tripping up people, however, is the fact that they may have engaged in non-kosher conduct here, right? They worked, they didn't work, they didn't have a job for a while, they had some pay stubs that were running, they paid for doing their H-1B. All of those things are crazy because they can cause the beneficiary an issue, and of course the employer set up in through the FDNS review, and then actions against the owners who made those decisions for them. As long as it can be raised through the CBP, who has authority to withdraw your entry and or revoke your H-1B, but it can be referred here to the FDNS, and then there'll be raids and other things and taking computers from the employers and trying to understand a lot of stuff. So they have long arms to be able to get that, but be aware that you stepping out and coming back into the country with something not clean in your background can still, if discovered, cause you an issue. Also, one more thing that I'd like to point out too is that if it is that your employer was in trouble and you're not aware of it as an employee, you don't know what's going on with the employer is not telling you. So even that can trigger something, and they can ask you questions, and then whatever you say has to be the truth. And if you're not and they have information about it, then you're going to have trouble.
What message would you give to H-1B holders who are hearing this rumor?
I would say don't panic. I mean, you have to be vigilant. If your documentation is in order and your employment is active, you're fine. And if it is that you're not comfortable, there is something that was not clean about the background that you had, then do speak with your immigration lawyer or an immigration lawyer before you enter the country.
Let's move on to the asylum filing fee. There's been a lot of confusion. What's happening with the new $100 fee for Form I-589?
Well, there is a new $100 fee that has been introduced via the reconciliation budget reconciliation bill. But currently, as we understand it, that there is doesn't seem to be a mechanism to pay it unless they are right in the middle of doing this by the time we are posting this update to you. There are two sets of fees. One is the USCIS fee, and the other one is the EOIR fee, meaning it would be posted through them. And so you have to be aware of all of them, especially if you're in deportation proceedings and you're about to defensively argue your asylum.
So, what are we advising clients to do?
I would say that don't file till there's an official update, right? But I mean, you may have other issues. So maybe you're trying to file, but getting rejected because of a lack of update, right? May be something that you may have to do just based on what your attorney is counseling you to do. So I would say go with what your attorney is telling you. But otherwise, we say that till it's updated and there's confusion out there, just wait.
But some courts are still accepting the applications anyway. Isn't that a bit confusing?
Yes, I mean, if they're not updated properly, then the courts are letting it go. It just depends on a judge. It's very discretionary. Somebody's caught up with the change in the law, and some courts are letting it blow by because it's not updated officially yet.
Let's talk about ICE. We've seen reports that ICE agents are detaining people right outside immigration courts in Dallas. Is this part of a larger pattern?
Well, there has been, so earlier, prior to the election, I mean, everyone's sense was that this was going to first get a wave of undocumented folks from here who had gotten in trouble with the law and had some criminal matters that they were involved in. They were arrested, they had issues, all of that. But now it's literally anyone, right, that could be picked up. But under the expanded expedited removal policy, ICE can actually detain and deport undocumented immigrants anywhere in the US if they can't prove that they have been in the country for 2 years. So this is being enforced in Texas right now, and so we are hearing stories about it.
We've also heard some heartbreaking stories about Canadians being detained. What should people know?
We heard a recent story, and that was that this husband and wife went to their I-130 interview. She was here, she was not documented when she came in. I mean, there were some different set patterns for her, and her husband actually voted for Trump, saying that he's going to take away the bad guys, but he didn't expect that his wife would be considered the bad guy as well. So she went for her interview for the I-130, which is to establish that they have a bona fide relationship, and she was pulled up and then put into deportation proceeding. And then we've had some people that have had a misdemeanor charge. But see, here's my thought, like, why are we thinking like different countries will get different treatments, right? It's all who are present without being documented or having a legal status. Now, what is different in all of this is that there is not they're not following what they had announced, right? About if people had, criminal matters or not. They're just doing it because they are at this time they have quotas to get to some deportation numbers that have been set up for ICE. So there are a bunch of articles sitting around. I read one last night in the Atlantic that says that ICE officers really have a tough job here because they have to follow the law, they have to meet the quotas, and it's some people do feel for the fact that they're separating parents from their little kids and the kids are left behind, right? There are going to be things like that, but as of right now, that's the law, they are enforcing it.
What can immigrants do to protect themselves?
So if you are in the country in lawful status, show that, right? So if you have something that is pending for you, maybe you came in as a visitor, you file an adjustment of status, you came in as an H-1B, you file an adjustment of status, and then you got your case still pending, but they can pull out that you enter the country and then go back. So you have to have some proof that you carry with you. I would also say that if you have entered the country across the border, then please carry the evidence of your 2 years presence in the US and any filings, copies of your legal filings. So if you had an asylum filed or anything else, then just do take that with you. If you're showing them your foreign IDs like passports, they can use that against you as well. If you're approached by ICE, you can choose to remain silent and you can ask for a lawyer. You can cooperate and show them your legal status, right? And then if you are fearing a return back to your home country because you have an asylum valid claim or it's been filed for you, then please do state that. And that may get the officer to kind of go through asylum screening with you. Clarity and caution are your best allies and at this moment. Whether you are a visa holder, whether you are an asylum applicant, or you have some pending immigration relief, keep your documents with you, know your rights, don't act on rumors. We are here to navigate through your challenges, and we thank you for watching. The only thing that I can tell you is that there is that option that the Trump administration, so you do not want uncertainty. I would say that that option that they've given you for self-deport could be taken care of if you don't have a valid other claim. So you can decide to use that if you have to. All right, all the best, and thank you so much. Bye bye.